Daily Broadside, day 1009. There should be a word in the English language. And maybe in other languages there is. I don't know. And maybe there's one in the English language. I don't even know. But there should be a word for like that sickening feeling in your stomach where you've done something. You're like, oh my God. Almost like it kind of hits on that. You know how like you're so attached to your phone because like your whole life is in it. And you feel like you've lost your phone or left it somewhere like in a restaurant. You got that immediate like, and for a second, your whole life has just frozen. And then you feel it in your pocket and you're like, oh, thank God. Because I don't even know how you would get in touch with most people. Like I know a lot of cell phone numbers, so I could call some people, but there's people in my phone that if I lost my phone, like I would just have to wait for them to contact me. And I don't know how they do it. If I couldn't keep my own same number, I guess I could, because I just have no other ways to find them, Any rate, I say that to say this. I was talking to a friend of mine just recently this morning at the Waffle House, and we were talking about mortification. And I was like, I think I've only been mortified one time in my life, like seriously mortified. And she was like, what happened? And I'm like, well, I said I was coaching basketball. My oldest son was in like the 9-10 range, and he's graduating grad school. So this is tomorrow, actually. So I've got to go there for another commencement speech. Oh God, I'd rather drop my nuts into a meat grinder while at a dance recital, but here we are. I guess it's the culmination of the last one of these I got to do for quite a while. But at any rate, I was teaching. I wasn't teaching. Well, I was teaching. I was teaching the youth, but I was coaching. I was a head coach for basketball. Went to the championship the first year. Second year, got knocked out early, but we still had a solid team. I had a kid at 9 years old who could cross over. It's pretty impressive. I don't know who taught him that, but he was a little showboaty, but we put up with it because he averaged like 12 points a game, which was a lot in that league because they only played like 4-minute quarters or whatever. At any rate, stay on task. I was emailing my assistant coach, and we were having some issues with the parents one year as they were interfering with the game, messing with the refs. A couple of them were complete cunts. Both male and female counterparts of the relationship were just cunt parents. I'd say if I had 9 kids, I would say there were about 3 sets of parents that I could just do without. And one kid that they could have taken him on too, because he was a couple inches taller than everybody, that he thought he could ball. He could not ball. Okay. My point is this. I start going into this scathing email, just destroying the parents. And I hit send, and I thought I'd sent it to him, and I had sent it to the whole team. And so, I got to tell you, even in like county rec ball, that becomes an issue. People, they want your head on a stake, and everything I said was valid. I had parents later that were like, I'm with you on that, sister. They didn't call me sister, but you know what I'm saying. And so as soon as that happened, I like looked at the send thing. Now I was very new to email at that time in my life. I mean, I didn't even know what blind CC was. Like I'm just not a tech savvy kind of guy. I'm a very analog boy in an analog world, at least in my head. And so that feeling in my gut of mortification of like, oh my God, what if, and you just want to undo everything. I started calling my buddy. I was like, how do you unsend, Outlook mail or, whatever the hell. And he's walking me through all this, but it happened. We got through another day. It was a little awkward at the next practice, if you know what I mean. I was like, what's up, Mrs. Turner, Mr. Turner. I said what I said. I'm not necessarily proud of it, but I do stand by my words. I probably could have said things a little bit less crass, but that's the story of my life. And I'm okay with that. But I'll say this. I think I've solved highway trash. Now, that may be, you may be like, okay, here's the deal, okay? There is a major thoroughfare nearby that goes by around here, mildly major city, and there's one of those like 20-foot walls that they put up as like a sound barrier for all the houses that decided to, live next to a highway. Or maybe they put the highway right through the houses. I don't know. I think the houses were there first. Anyway, they got those big, concrete walls, right? That gang members feel the need to desecrate with spray paint. Well, what is that? Are we recruiting a gang with these stupid graffiti? Like, what are you doing? Like somebody's gonna be riding down the highway and be like, man, I need to get sexed into a gang. Like what are we doing? Anyway, there's this one part, right before it dumps onto another highway where I take my exit. There's like the wall goes this way, and then it just cuts this way, and then it cuts back this way. And it's just it's just like a little corner, okay? And it's probably like 8 feet deep, 10 feet across, and then the wall goes on up. This is probably difficult to understand, but my point is this. Guess what's at the base of that wall right there? All this trash, like tons of trash, because everything blows, because everybody's going 80 miles an hour. It's a 70 zone. So cars are just whizzing by. Trash is blowing around. Remember in American Beauty where the guy is filming everything and he's hiding his weed underneath the video cassettes, and he's like, I want to show you this, Miss Birch. By the way, the girl that played Thora Birch, I think it's Thora Birch, her mom was in, I got Debbie Does Dallas in my head, but it's the other one that was real popular. Deep Throat. Her mom was in Deep Throat as a actress. It's weird. And then her daughter turns into a regular actress. At any rate, just a little fun fact for you. But so he shows this video, and it's basically like, this is the prettiest thing I've ever filmed, and it's just a plastic bag and some leaves just blowing around because it's caught in this little area. And it's the same thing, right? It's the American Beauty wall is what I call it, because it just collects all the trash. And then all you got to do is just go over there and just takes you 5 minutes. You picked up all the trash because it collects itself. So what I say is every quarter mile, just put a little out jutting, a little alcove, a little break in the action in the wall. Yeah, it might cost a little bit more money, but we keep America beautiful. And it gets a lot easier for us to do that. So, yeah. So that's all I have today. By the way, I'm playing tonight from 9 to 12. I asked my buddy Teeter, I'm like, what time do we go on? He's like, was it 7 or 7:30? He's like, 9. I'm like, well, I'm glad I asked. I'd be kind of silly looking standing there. I'd be half drunk by the time y'all got there. I'd be 3 hours early. But anyway, 9 to 12, the podium, High Point, North Carolina. Be a lot of fun. A lot of cold beer, as they like to advertise, as if anybody would drink warm beer. I don't know why that needs to be expressed, but at any rate, here we go. I got 11 songs left to learn, and it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock rock. I don't know what it is, but I've got like 5 hours to do this. So I like the pressure. I live for it. Y'all have a good one.